Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the TTT Sports Roundup. You know, as we say it here, it's your one-stop spot for all your sporting needs. You know, once there's a ball involved, or even if there isn't, because, you know, we have to stay on the track as well. Anything, it's going to be covered here. You know, welcome to the TTT Sports. Comprehensive package.
Yes, indeed.
But before we even put another word out there on the airwaves, you know, let's do the honorable thing and, you know, just invite the presence of God to roam and to dwell among us. Let us pray. Most righteous and heavenly Father, as we come before you right now, mighty God, we just want to say thank you for this opportunity to speak to your people in this manner. Thank you for bringing us here safe, mighty God. Father God, we pray for a good program today, you know, one filled with information, one filled with knowledge for your people, mighty Father. We pray that whatever we speak here may be carried upon the wings of angels over the airwaves, mighty God, to bless the hearts and minds of your people, mighty God. Bless every equipment in the studio today. Bless our engineer behind the scene, mighty God, and bless this recording so that it may be a very wonderful one. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well said.
Amen.
You know what I mean? As we saturate the airways.
Which is right.
You know what I mean? Of course. You know what I mean? This is how we start our program. Oh, and this week is going to be a little bit different. You know what I mean? This week is what we call Fan Base Week. You know what I mean? The fan has been calling out for different things on the program. You know, they have mooted a few questions for us to answer. And we're just going to appease the fans. But in our traditional way, we're going to start with the local roundup, and we're going to start in the JPL. A lot of things to discuss in the JPL. Some of it not so pleasant. And of course, my co-host is going to get into that. But we're going to speak about the housekeeping matters in terms of the league,
right,
who is scoring in the league, how the matches went. And then we're going to introduce something that is new. You know, the fan has been speaking about introducing new stuff. You know what I mean? Of course, we're into the playoffs. So we've been mentioning the NBA. We're looking at the teams in the East and the West and how the first round matches would have gone. We have those scores for you. But before we get into that, we're just going to hand over to my co-host, and he's going to just take us through the JPL roundup.
Comprehensive indeed, you know, everything.
Indeed. You're not leaving out anything.
Nothing. Once
you understand?
Sports,
every question that you have, you know what I mean, just leave your questions in the comment section in the YouTube, and we'll get back to you. And we discuss them online or on the program.
Definitely. Here. And I'll tell you, you know, some of those questions really have my brain ticking. Really have my brain ticking.
Yes,
but,
indeed.
Over to the JPL. It's been a very, very active week. I think the score lines, not pretty much what we would have expected, you know, considering the fact that,
in keeping what we are used to.
Right, in keeping with tradition that in this league, the highest you might see in our game is maybe 5 goals, or 3-2, or 4-1, or so forth. But nothing major. I think the battle that have been happening here would have been among the top 4 teams, right? So over in match day 21, the first match that kicked off, you know, that's on April. The first match was Humble Lion versus Jamalco, a Clarendon derby down there. Humble Lion would have gotten the better of Jamalco on the day, beating them 2-1. Another interesting one would have been Molayans United versus Dumbly Holden, and this was, I guess, in this competition, you can say this was a high-scoring match. You know, we had Dumbly Holden running away with this one at 3-2 over Molayans United. Another riveting match was Tivoli Gardens versus Cavalier, and Cavalier pulled away with that one with a 1-0 win. Similar scoreline was shared between Portmore and Harbourview, where Portmore would have won that one 1-0.
Yes.
Another high-scoring match, if we want to call it, that was Falkland and Waterhouse. You know, Waterhouse would have won that one 3-2 in their favor. And then we have Chapelton versus Arnett Gardens. You know, Chapelton, it is official.
Yeah, it is official.
It is official.
The news has broken. We have already called this on long ago on this program that relegation was really on the cards for them. And of course, it has come forward now and it has been confirmed that Chapelton Maroon has been relegated from the Premier League. Yes,
and justified so. I think they gave up towards the back end of the season.
Yeah,
it was just more honoring match fixtures.
Yes, it was just honoring fixtures.
Yeah,
because
it was more that.
They fell off, and of course they had a tumultuous season.
Right.
You know what I mean? They lost. They weren't able to show up for fixtures. They were dock points. They were fined. A football club cannot. Too many things. But a team cannot survive those sort of upheavals.
Yeah, it's not just a team, but a team who have just been promoted.
Yes.
Because they were just promoted into the league. The turmoil between the previous turmoil between Lenny Hyde and the owners and so forth. The players. Because after Lenny Hyde left, you found that there was a mass migration of players.
Of course.
Migration of players.
And of course, you brought in a big time coach. But if you bring if you're bringing a big time coach and you don't have the players for the player for the coach to coach, the players, how you gonna pull yourself out of the relegation zone
if you don't have the tools?
And you don't have the tools.
The players are the tools in this case.
Exactly, and you don't have that. So you can have the greatest coach, and of course, Olivier is a very good coach.
Right.
But he didn't have the material to work with.
Right, and that for me, that doesn't detract from his character.
No, not at all. Because when he went in, remember that gentleman said to us that he's not a miracle worker.
Right.
Because he recognized the job was very, very big.
Right. And I think they've only gotten one win
only
of
one.
The season that came under him.
Yeah, but I can't recall another victory. I remember that victory, and I remember how they celebrated. I remember they almost like they won the league.
I tell you.
But
yeah. I guess they have a good foundation down there in Clarendon. I believe the Clarendon.
Clarendon
FA.
Definitely. FA is doing a fantastic. Quite a few teams from Clarendon are in the Premier League
and are doing as well.
Exactly in and around the Premier League, and I suspect there are other teams that are there down there as well. And I'm hoping that some sort of structure comes back to them and they'll find themselves back in the Premier League.
Right.
In the shortest possible time.
My wish is that at least one of those Clarendon teams stay up, because I know.
Yes.
Veer isn't sitting so pretty either.
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
And I know Jamalco
is right down there as well. They're in they're in the relegation zone as well. They're in 12th place.
Right.
As well. And of course, it's not so pretty, but surprisingly, along with them, they have brought down a perennial contender in the Premier League in Tivoli Garden that is down there battling with them.
Yes, it's almost as if they said, boy, if we're going down, you're coming with us.
Boy, I tell you,
they're coming with us. But my reason for stating that earlier, not Veer, but Jamalco. My reason for stating that is that with what's happening in Clarendon, winning these schoolboys competition, producing these good players, I think it's important to have a channel for those youngsters to streamline into a higher level.
That's correct.
And I believe having a team in the
Premier League will help those talents. Exactly.
It offers that, because when you look at the Veer and the Chaperton Maroon and the Jamalco and so forth, a lot of these players are from
that era,
the Garvey Messiah, the Clarendon College, the Glenmore, and so forth. So it's important
in around that vicinity, of course.
So it's like those schools are
could
feeding
be
ground
exactly for the Premier League, and of course when you're in the Premier League, your visibility is so much more enhanced.
True.
When you're part of that structure, that elevated structure.
True.
But of course, if they are not there, it is a little bit harder for them. Those persons have to apply their trade somewhere else in the league to be seen.
Right, and sometime in the lesser leagues by measure as well, major league, business house and so forth.
That is correct.
The final fixture of the round was Mobile United and Mount Pleasant. This one played out to a 2-2 draw.
Yes, indeed.
Coming up, we have Portmore versus Mount Pleasant again. That is a delayed fixture.
Yes,
that one was a delayed fixture. That should be played over, I think, on the Monday night. On the Monday night, we'll have Arnett Gardens versus Dumbly Holden.
Yes.
And also on the same pitch, at the Tony Sparling Complex, we'll have Tivoli Gardens versus Waterhouse as well. Looking to see how the table shapes. Cavalier have taken the lead, with one match more than Arnett Gardens.
Yes.
Right, they have played one match, and I guess that one match would have bring Arnett Gardens down to second position, because they would have drawn over the previous match week.
Yes.
So we have Cavaliers on 46. Arnett Gardens would have been pushed down the table on 43. Listeners, remember that they still have that game in hand.
Yes.
And then we have Mount Pleasant, high-flying Mount Pleasant at the beginning of the season. They are now in third position, and they are on 42 points, followed by Harborview in fourth on 40 points. So the table still pretty much close. Still pretty much close in terms of goal scoring prowess. We have Colin Anderson.
Yes,
Colin Anderson on 15 goals.
I saw an article with Colin Anderson this week.
Right.
That he set a target for himself of 22 goals for the season.
That's very possible
right now. And I think he's on 16 goals so far, you know, and another 6 goals and with a couple of games to go, it's quite possible.
It's very doable.
Yeah,
very
man, it's doable.
Trevante Stewart,
yes,
following on 14 goals as well.
Yes.
And then the veteran of the league, Mr. Fabian Reed, on 13 goals. So very, very close battle at the top as well for in terms of goal scoring prowess. So we're still looking out to see who is going to walk away with that, prestigious golden boot at the end of the season.
Yes.
My money, I am pipping Trevante Stewart fight.
Yeah,
there's something about that Mount Pleasant setup.
Yes.
How they feed him. And I don't know. I think he's gonna bag it, but still early days.
Yeah, still early days.
In terms of goal scoring.
Yeah, man. In a few games to go, Mr. Colin Anderson has put up his hand and said that he has 22 goals.
Right.
If he scores 22 goals, he's gonna be the golden boot with that.
Right.
In my estimation.
All right, but I think he have slowed down a bit though, because I remember he was on 13 maybe about 3 weeks ago there.
A few fixtures.
Right.
A few fixtures.
But Trevante Stewart, have he bagged a hat trick and he have been getting a few braces here and there throughout the season. So when he scores, he scores.
Very interesting to see how it is going to finish. You're saying Mr. Stewart and I'm saying Mr. Anderson.
All right, let's bank on it. Let's bank on it. Yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the local Premier League as to what's happening. We get into the business end of the season. So as the season closes, we bring all the fixtures to see who makes it to the top of the summit. Over to the NBA, something different for our viewers and listeners today.
Yes, as I said before in my precursor, that the NBA, a good friend of mine is calling. So I hope that she, it's a female as well, I hope that she hears the NBA being spoken of on the program. And of course, we're here to please the fans. And of course, to my loyal fans, this is for you. The NBA, of course, is at the playoff stages. Of course, who have made the East and the West is these teams. I'm going to list them out and I'm going to tell you what the first round has ended with so far in terms of who is leading after game 1. In the West, we see that Nuggets were the top seeds, and followed by the Grizzlies and the Kings in 4th place. Clippers is in 5, Warriors in 6, Lakers made it in. They had a wretched time during the regular season, but they made it in the 7th place. And Timberwolves in 8th place in the West. And over there in the East, the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, a couple years ago, the Bucks would have won this NBA championship.
Right.
Celtics follows them in 2nd, in 76ers in 3rd, Cavaliers in 4th. The years ago, this would be LeBron's team.
Cleveland.
But of course, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cleveland.
But of course, LeBron is in LA now. Knicks,
quite a journeyman.
Yes, this when I say the Knicks, a lot of people were laughing about this. Used to be used to be my team, but this is my team. Year to year has been my team. In the likes of Patrick Ewing and so forth. In years gone by,
right.
I used to support this team heavily, and of course they have suffered over the years and so on. But it's nice to see them back in the Premier League in 5th place, and of course, followed by the Nets, and of course the Hawks and the Heat. And we have the first round matches. There's some amount of surprises that would have happened in this first round matches. And I don't know if much of the NBA that you would have looked at during the regular season, but would have seen things like the Nuggets was running away the league, beating everybody and so forth, and the Bucks on the East side would have been doing the very, very same. But we know that the playoffs is not how the script is written,
right?
Because the top team plays the 8th team in the thing. So Nuggets will play Timberwolves, Grizzlies 2 will play 7. So the Grizzlies and the Lakers will play. Kings versus Warriors will actually play, and then 4th place 5th, which is Suns versus the Clippers, and the same thing happens on the eastern side. And what we're seeing that the 76ers would have won against the Nets, and of course is a predictable fixtures. You would think that the 76ers in 4th place, 1, 2, 3, 3rd place would basically beat anybody in 6th, and so it played out. They beat the Nets 121-101 in that first game. Celtics got the better of the Hawks 112-99. Cavalier, they lost to the Knicks, and of course this must be celebration there in New York. New York Knicks has won a playoff game, and I don't think they would have won many playoff games over the last couple of years, but they won this one against Cavaliers 101-97. the Warriors versus the King. But what we know of the Warriors, this with this shooting genius, with Mr. Steph Curry, you know that this team has been winning championship after championship and so on. But they have come up against a Kings team that want to seem to unseat them. You know what I mean? Of course, the Kings basically has been playing good basketball. They finished ahead of them in the regular season. They finished in third, and of course, Warriors finished in the 6th place. And Warriors lost this game to the Kings, 126 to 123. It was a close game, but they lost to the Kings, 126 to 123. Grizzlies versus Lakers. And I say Lakers with LeBron James, and I say arguably one of the greatest players to ever hold a basketball. He's breaking all the records now, and I think he's now the leading scorer in NBA's history.
He's showing the great Michael Jordan himself.
And beating out Kareem
and Scottie Pippen as well.
and all those persons. You have displaced the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, in recent time to be the leading goal scorer and so on. And of course, he doesn't have the amount of rings as a Michael Jackson. This is an age-old debate with who is better, who is the greatest, and so on. Will continue in NBA just as it is in football. You know, with Messi and Ronaldo and so forth, and Pele and so forth. But he's a fantastic player. And he's doing it in his 20th year in the league, and that is just phenomenal. The numbers that he's putting up is unreal for a player of his age and what he's doing. So you would have won against the Grizzlies 128 to 112, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly how this continues. We're looking at Bucks versus Heat, and of course the Miami Heat. They lost a player during this game. They won 130 to 117. Interesting to see how this is going to play out. Giannis, which is the Mr. Antetokounmpo, it is name. You know what I mean? Of course, is a big player on the Bucks side, but he got a back contusion and he had to leave the game in the first quarter. And of course, the team struggled. Suns versus Clippers, and I saw this one. I watched this one last night, and of course, it was a very, very good name. Very end-to-end basketball game. You know what I mean? Buckets being traded by the two teams, but the Clippers were better than the Suns, 115 to 110. And of course, the last match was there's Nuggets versus Wolves, and of course, the Nuggets put on a hiding on the Timberwolves, 109 versus 80. You know, so it is exciting stuff in the NBA, and of course, some amount of surprises. Of course, the Bucks would have been a big surprise because we thought they would have run away with this. They were playing the 8th seed in the Heat. And of course, you can't tell the difference between 8 and 1 because the Heat won 130 versus 117. So along the side of appeasing the fans, I hope the fans are happy that we have brought to them the NBA. And we're going to just continue during this period of time where this NBA playoff to just bring the scores and the various matchup and speak on these games, the ones that, stand out to us on this program to be one of the humdingers in this session. We're going to take a break right here. We're going to just dribble out of this section. And when we come back, we're going to go into what we call the fan base. A lot of things are happening in terms of overall questions in football. They want to know exactly what we say, who's going to finish this Premier League at the top, who has been the greatest striker in the Premier League. One of the questions that the fan has been asking.
Right.
Can us add more questions to what the fan has been asking, and I'm going to try to answer for this program. But let's take a break right now, and we're going to come back and we're going to go through all of those questions with you. Stick and stay with us.
Hey guys, my name is Cheyenne Freeman Wilson, and you're tuned into Trenchtown Transformational Radio, where prayer never ceases, and together we transform lives. Welcome back. TTT Radio Sports Roundup. And of course, we just went through the NBA. And of course, this week's program has been dubbed Fan Base. You know what I mean? And there's some questions that was mooted up, to us by some fans. And we're just going to try and answer some of them. I can't tell you we have all the answers for them, but we'll give you our answer based on the TTT Radio Sports Roundup.
Right.
Cast. And of course, we're going to include our engineer, Mr. Daniel,
in this
part of this discussion as well. to share his view on some of these questions that are being asked by the fans. You just want to just roll us into it, or you want to get into the domestic league before we get into those questions?
Well, I mean, a lot of the questions are picked from the Premier League, so I'm just going to give our viewers and listeners, because we have the faithfuls, who are listening for the Premier League roundup.
I was really trying to avoid you going through the fixtures.
Oh, no, I know why, I know why, but we're going to get to that part shortly, We're going to get to that part shortly, because, we can't not give the listeners and the viewers what they want, because people want to hear the fixtures, So, we were in match day 31 and we get into the business end. We're getting down to what they would call the gravy of the pot.
Yes.
We get into that side. And the first match to report on was a disappointment for me. Well, it was kind of mixed emotions.
Yes.
Was Villa versus Newcastle. Villa won that one 3-0. And our little love affair with Villa. Bailey is
there. Yes.
But I tell you,
but you also have a love affair with Newcastle as well.
I'm just falling in love with Newcastle, man. I'm not. I mean, and it's so beautiful to see them right behind Manchester United.
Yes.
In the table.
And you love for them to stay there.
Right there. right there. Because I mean, my love for Man U is on a different level, But as an upcoming squad, I mean, Newcastle have been giants in the past, with Alan Shearers and so forth, but I did not experience that.
Yes.
So to see them in this light and also to understand the recent happenings, to know the financial backing and to add the beauty to it now is that money is not even being used.
That is correct. I was just about to say that, I'm saying they have the money.
But it's not even being used.
But it's not about the money for them.
So, and they're still performing to this level.
Exactly. Exactly.
I have seen teams perform to this, but I've seen Southampton with wonder runs of season. I've seen Newcastle. I've seen Crystal Palace. I've seen Leicester. I've seen Leicester perform so well consistently for a couple of seasons.
On a shoestring budget.
Right. Till it was even up for discussion that, should we move it from the top 6 to now the top 7? Because Leicester have been there for years. But I mean, what Newcastle is doing right now seems to me that it can be continual. It can be continual, it's like they're building a system.
You know what they're saying, and what they're actually doing is saying they're winning and not so much of a big budget.
Right.
But with some quality players.
That is true.
In a proper system.
That is true.
And getting results.
And a lot of these players were made there.
Yes.
Because even the players that were brought in, I mean, the likes of Isaac and so forth and Trippier and so forth, you can.
Yes.
I mean, Trippier is perhaps the only one I can argue and say you brought him in as a developed player. But most of these players that were brought in, Eddie Howe and the coaching staff down there, they have been doing a good job.
Fantastic.
They have been doing a good job. So
fantastic job.
Villa would have won that one 3-0. Watkins would have gotten a brace in that one.
And what can be said about Ollie Watkins? He's playing out of his game.
Yeah. Definitely one of the most informed players. I mean, for England right now.
Yes.
Well, he could score 50 goals a season. I don't see him getting the start of a hurricane.
Boy, no, not at all.
That is not going to happen.
But at least he must be in the conversation.
But he will be getting a looking in for sure.
I
even
agree.
Speaking about Abrahams, came back and scored on the weekend as well. And, I mean, he's almost a forgotten man for England.
Yes,
and he have been performing. I mean, I was watching Roma the other day, and I was saying that Smalling isn't playing bad either.
Yeah, man.
Smalling is playing some good football.
Smaldini. The man has had a new name,
But I'm telling you,
is a man reborn.
Yeah, man.
He's no longer Smalling,
Smaldini. And he's not even getting a glimpse of an eye.
No.
From Southgate. So I don't know. I guess you have to be in his direct vision in England for you to even be considered. I mean, even Trippier was frozen out when he went to Atletico.
That's correct.
To some extent, he always bring him along, but the favor that was on him when he was at Tottenham wasn't really there.
It is clear. The bias is there. For England-based players.
And I think
that is the story.
I think that's one of the reasons why Sancho was so eager to make it back into the Premier League
because
as
he
well.
want to be a part of the England setup.
Right. Another fixture, another good one. We have Everton versus Fulham. The troubles for Everton continues.
Yes,
as Fulham would have beaten them 3-1.
Yes.
Southampton and Crystal Palace also played out to a very interesting match as well. Palace would have gotten this one beating Southampton 2-0.
Yes.
Wolves would have beaten the high riding Brentford You know, they would have suffered a defeat to Wolves. They would have lost 2-0.
A certain Diego Costa would have scored his first goal. Can you believe that? He was so prolific for Chelsea in the days, but once he came back to Wolves, he didn't score a goal. But yes, over the weekend he had his first, and I tell you that he was over the moon.
Right. That would have meant a lot to him as well. You know, to boost his confidence and so forth.
And he played well.
Right. Tottenham took on Bournemouth as well. You know, Bournemouth would have humbled them 3-2 in that fixture.
Tottenham, the perfect bottle club.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm so sorry for the supporters of Tottenham that listen to this program, but this club is a real bottle club.
Yeah, indeed. You know, there's reason to label them at that. You know, they're to my delight still. You know, to my delight because
I'm sure.
To my delight because you know they're knocking on the door of that fourth position, and I want to open up room between them and Manchester United. You know, so this works perfectly for me.
Sometimes you look at Tottenham's squad and say, why are they performing that poorly?
Right.
You know what I mean? They have the squad. They had a coach.
They have the players.
That was a winning coach. But somehow something does seem to always go wrong with Tottenham.
Always.
I don't know.
You know, the Tottenham now is just the bridesmaid type of situation with Tottenham. Just forever be the bridesmaid, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, you know, you apologize to the Tottenham fans because we don't know what's happening with them.
Yes.
But I mean, if you want to be sorry, you know, this is something to be sorry about because you know Brighton took on Chelsea over the weekend.
Yeah.
And
can we just move on from this fixture,
I'll
please?
tell you this, you know. Hey, but I said it, you know, Brighton is big side now, you can't play Brighton anymore, you know.
No, man, I'm telling
you. For this season, you know, Brighton big side.
I looked at the game, I watched the game, I tell you, I watched this game, I was at home. I watched this game, you know, rare that I'm at home on a Saturday morning, but I was there and I watched this game in its entirety, and I tell you that I was so livid. You know, in Jamaican parlance, they say that Brighton ball Chelsea,
right? And
I could not say anything.
Disagree.
I couldn't disagree.
That's true.
They ball us off the park. To be honest with you, when I looked at Brighton, I said, this can't be Chelsea playing. They look like a shadow of themselves, but this is what is happening in Chelsea at the moment.
I think the focus for Chelsea right now would have to be the Champions League and the rebuild for next season.
The rebuilding for next season definitely is pivotal because we have to. You know, I mean, there's no other choice because when you're so down, you know, the only way that you can go is now up.
Yeah, but I think there's still some life in their season in terms of the Champions League. I'm gonna bring in my engineer now as well, you know, because I was explaining to him that. Yeah. You know, you don't really write them off at 2-0 still.
No.
Knowing
Chelsea of old would have come back from 2-0.
Right.
I'm not too sure about this kind of Chelsea.
Right. You know, bringing them up against Madrid, you don't. I know the quality of Madrid, you know, but you don't really write them off.
Sir Daniel, get involved in this, man. What are your thoughts in this? You know what I mean? Does Chelsea has a prayer in this match with Real Madrid, or it is all done and dusted? Come on.
I can't say, you know. Boy, Chelsea don't look fit enough to go against a Real Madrid right now. No.
Boy, I can't fault that. I can't fault that, Daniel. To be honest,
but I've seen stranger things happen, doing. I've seen stranger things happen.
It's at Stamford Bridge, but this team, Real Madrid, has an affinity towards this Champions League.
Yes, and even when there's a love affair there.
Yeah, I don't understand. Even when they're not playing well, they find a way to win. So I don't way up against it. It's not impossible. I've seen impossible teams.
Right.
So-called impossible
but the odds are stacked.
But the odds are stacked.
And I'll tell you something about this Madrid team, you know.
Yes,
this Madrid team, you know, people not looking at the depths of this Madrid team. I mean, you're looking at the Vinicius and the Benzema. But this team have some depth, you know.
Yes, man.
This team have, remember, you know, you have
the Camavingas.
I believe. I'm not even going to get to Camavinga yet.
You know.
I'm just talking about up
Tony
front.
Cruz, come on.
Just up front, you know, you have Benzema. Benzema is one, about 26 goals, somewhere there about. 26. Vinicius,
are more
21.
Yes.
Rodrigo, 13.
Yeah.
Valverde, 12.
Yeah.
Asensio, 10.
Yes.
That's just your front line, you know. All over 10 goals, you know.
Yes.
Right? You have 5 players in your front line, all over 10 goals for the season.
Of course.
That's no joke.
No, that's no joke.
That is not a joke.
You know what I mean? And of course, they've been so solid. They have been so solid in defense.
In midfield.
And they have been so solid in midfield. And this old man Cruz is still holding on and still.
You talk about Cruz, what about Modric?
I tell you.
Well,
up against it, I tell you, I agreed. I can't fault Daniel for his predictions. But I've seen some weird things happen with this football.
Yes.
Chelsea gets one early. And the cat amongst the pigeons, and we see how it works out. But
ravel them up a bit.
On paper, this one is a Real Madrid win all the way.
On paper.
Yes.
Speaking about on paper now, these fixtures, these 4 fixtures, I believe, well, -1, we're going to take Liverpool out from now. Liverpool played Leeds, and it was a very good win for them. They needed that. That was a 6-1 hammering. 6-1 hammering. Nunes and
a friend of mine would say that they took out the belt buckle,
everything, kitchen sink, everything they threw in this one. But I mean, towards this end of the season, these are the performances that they need if they're gonna pull out anything from the horrible season that they've been having.
I think Leeds would have changed 2 coaches already for the season. And this doesn't augurs well for Mr. Garcia, because 5-1 last week, 6-1 this week. You know what I mean? 11
not looking good.
11-2. That don't keep in a job in this Premier League.
Not looking good.
No, not
looking good. And Leeds is not sitting pretty either. And even that, I'm gonna wrap up these match fixtures and I'm gonna highlight something on the standing as well. I'm gonna highlight something.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Just to wrap up the match fixtures. Manchester United, big side, played Nottingham Forest, and I tell you, we cut down that Forest. That forest was leveled. Deforestation. Deforestation.
As we should.
That forest was leveled. We won that one 2-1. 2-1. But the two matches of the weekend,
Yes.
Leicester and Man City. Man City would have won that one 3-1.
Yes.
Tighten the news around Arsenal, who would have drawn to West Ham 2-2. And remember, they drew last week as well.
2-2 as well.
So the news is tightening up now.
Yeah, man.
And that now brings us to how the table is shaping up. Because how the table is shaping up now, we have Arsenal, Man City, Man United, and then Newcastle. Arsenal have now 74 points.
Yes.
Man City have 70 points with a game in hand.
Yes. And Arsenal is the next game up.
That's a 6-pointer. That's a 6-pointer right there. I was explaining to one of our mutual friends that is the match that they need to win. That's the match that's going to. I can't even guarantee that match wins them the league, but that is the match that should have propelled them to winning the league if they did not lose those 2 matches prior.
Yes, I agree. I tell you, this is getting. I was saying to my Arsenal friends because they're quite. Many at my workplace, quite a few.
Right.
And I'm saying that the footsteps are a bit louder now.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? It's louder now. You know what I mean? It is. These guys are coming. And I said before, why I was really running that home so loudly, I'm saying that Man City has a history.
Yes.
For this time of season.
Winners. The winners mentality.
Yes, man. They know how to rack up the wins.
That's true.
And I believe that is what is propelling them to go forward, and they have something in target, and they're just going for it.
That is true.
And of course, Arsenal seem to be cracking under a bit of pressure because it's almost unexplained how they just fell apart after a 2-0 lead, seemingly very comfortable, and all of a sudden now, I was listening to one of those TV special with Arsenal, and he was saying that the guys that were so assured in their play, all of a sudden start making some silly mistakes and so on. You said bottle job at the start of the thing before.
It's been bottled, man.
I'm just wondering if the nervousness of not winning the Premier League in almost
inexperience of the position that you're in.
20 years, 18 plus. It seems as if it is weighing heavy on them now.
But and I know I might get some stick from our listeners and our viewers for this, but I'm a brave man.
Yeah, sure.
That penalty, I said it off here as well.
Yes.
In my book, I don't have Saka taking that penalty.
Oh.
And let me clarify first that this has nothing to do with what happened in the Euros no. This has nothing to do with this is a tactical approach from me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I am thinking at that pivotal point.
Yes.
You need a rugged mentality. You need a person.
Off here, you was saying that he needed granite.
You need the granite Xhaka. You need the granite Xhaka in that position, and that is who is taking that penalty from me on that day. Yeah, I'll agree. Saka have been banging them in. I'll agree that he have been in good knock and good form and so forth. But so have Xhaka. But what I'm saying is this, viewers and listeners, it's not that I take nothing from the young man's season or what he's doing, and it has nothing to do with missing at the Euros. Nothing.
And
it's just
to be
that
honest,
in that position,
he was scoring all the penalties for Arsenal.
So far.
far.
The one that he need perhaps the most.
Yeah.
That's the one. And it's almost as if he lost his composure.
Yeah, man. Because I listened to Arteta was saying that thing there. I wonder if he was saying that. No, it wasn't Arteta. Was the same guy on Arsenal Fan TV was saying. I think it's Robbie was saying that he usually rolls his penalty on the ground.
Right.
And he went high with this one. He's just out of character in terms of how he took the penalty.
Right.
That is not in keeping how he is.
He's accustomed to taking them.
Yeah,
why would you want to change your method at this point of the season?
Yes.
And speaking at this point of the season, I realized that there is a part of the table that we haven't given much attention to, And I was looking at it over the weekend and I was thinking, hold on.
Yes.
Is that some big side that get relegated this year?
Yeah, man.
Are some big side going to get relegated this year?
It is.
Because the cellar dwellers of the league and the promoted sides are doing well.
Yes.
The Brentford, the Fulham, the Brighton,
yes.
the Bournemouth, those guys are doing well.
Yes.
It's the perennial mid-table sides, the West Ham, the Leeds, the Everton, the Leicester, and the Southampton.
That is correct.
Those are the guys who are now at the foot of the table.
That is where the shift is.
So when I look at the bottom of the table right now,
you have said something that I don't think I was paying any attention to, because all the other teams like the Fulham, we consider them to be a yo-yo club.
Right.
They're up one season.
Right. So the space left, somebody have to fill that space. Somebody have to fill that space. So when you look from about 13 go down, ladies and gentlemen, a pure big side or perennial. When I say big side, I don't mean top six, but perennial mid-table side.
Premier League. Mid-table team.
Right.
Yeah.
The Wolves, the Bournemouth, the West Ham, the Leeds, the Everton.
Yes.
I think the only side that is down there now that one could say, okay, that's a bit expected is Forest.
Yes.
It's perhaps Forest.
Yes.
Right? But Leicester and Southampton and Everton and Leeds. I know Leeds got promoted recently, but I mean the history that is affiliated with Leeds. Leeds is a big side for those who don't know. Leeds is a big side.
Yes.
So to see these guys at the foot of the table, you know that one of these are at least two of these guys going down.
Yeah, man. Right now, based on the form that I see teams like Everton in.
Right.
It is scary for them,
Very.
Very. It seems as if,
very.
You know what I mean? And of course, Everton has boasted the record that they have been in the Premier League from its inception.
Right.
And they have never been relegated.
Well, there's a first for everything.
Yeah, but
this might just be. But you know what I think though? I think they're gonna survive. My money has Leicester and Southampton and someone else. Leicester and Southampton and someone else, but Chelsea. No, I don't think they're gonna go down this season. But I don't think they're going down this season.
I don't think I'll invite you to speak on the program anytime again, Mr. Engineer.
My engineer is a Manchester United fan as well. I think the listeners need to know that as well. And that would have pretty much wrapped it up in terms of table talk, in terms of the discussion for the league and so forth. We're gonna move into a fun frenzy right now.
Indeed.
Right, we're gonna move into a fun frenzy. So we have accumulated a few questions from our fans, via different means and so forth.
Yes.
So we're just gonna discuss it, to give them what is due to them on air. Because we try to make our program here fan-centered. We want to ensure that we're listening to our viewers.
We are nothing without the fans. You know what I mean? So,
which is right.
You know what I mean? So we're just gonna
all right. So I'm gonna put them out and we take them out 1-1.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
First one. I think we have answered a bit of this one throughout our discussion. Right. I think we have answered a bit of this one. We have. Who will win the league, City or Arsenal? I think we have pretty much answered that one. But we're going to open the floor.
We have answered this one, I think, about 2 times over the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Right.
And my take is that City will still emerge as champions. It's going to be tight. It has always been that way. But I believe that City has the know-how, they have the skills, and they're in form to do it.
Engineer.
It is definite. It is definite that is Manchester United.
That's going to win the league.
He's going to win the league.
I'll tell you this, listen.
Jokes.
My engineer is a man of faith.
Jokes, man. It's City all the way, man.
All right.
So a person that like Arsenal now just coming up and from 20 years not winning the league. They don't have any winning experience of this league, City know what it takes to win this league,
Yeah, that's
so,
I wanted to tell you their track record in recent years would suggest that they know the way.
The money is on them.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Arsenal are giants at the past, the Invincibles.
Yes, of course.
The Arsene Wenger and the Fergie battle and so forth. So we know they're giants of the past. And the question recently was, have the sleeping giants woken?
Yeah.
That was the question with them and AC Milan and so forth. Cause those guys are giants and they're waking up in recent seasons. So the question was, have the giants woken? I think the giants have woken. But walking is different from winning the league.
Yeah.
In terms of performances, this season, obviously they have woken up this season.
Yeah.
Same thing for AC Milan as well, winning the league last year.
I was saying to our Virgin of mine today that if Arsenal doesn't win the league, it's going to be damaging for them for the next season.
Right. I think so as well. With the ascendancy that they're on.
Yes.
Right.
If you don't win the league,
right,
more competition is going to come from the likes of a Newcastle when they were in their retool, and the Manchester Uniteds of this world. You know what I mean? Wow. It's going to be a little bit tighter for them. And of course, City is going to be there about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this
I realize they kind of left out Manchester United. So
I'm
just going to remind
you. I did say the Manchester United of this world.
Okay.
But yes, but indeed, because each year, and of course, Arsenal will strengthen as well, because each squad is going to do an assessment at the end of the season and then bring in their persons. But I'm just saying that this year, seeing that you are so close and you have led the league for so long, if you don't go on to lift this stake, it's going to be damaging.
It's almost as if second place is not really the prize or a prize you can settle for at this time.
No, not at all. Although it will be a big prize for them because they return to the Champions League, which is a victory in itself. But I'm saying that you're so close. You're almost in touching distance.
It's in grabbing distance where you can reach out and take it.
Exactly.
But I think, like you said, with the way they have played and how they have led the table throughout the season, I think losing it at such a close reach, like you said, it's going to retract from there. And you said the competitions that are pending for next season. I am going to be a brave man and say it. I am expecting a resurgence from Liverpool as well.
I'm expecting that.
Yes.
And I'm expecting a resurgence from Chelsea as well.
Yes. That's a given.
To be honest with you, because they are really gone down in the doldrums, and I expect a resurgence because they are at the bottom of the pile now, in my view. And that's why I'm saying it's going to be so difficult and so damaging for Arsenal to not lift it, because it's going to be so much more.
Because you have a lot of teams rebuilding for next season as well.
Precisely.
Understood. So my engineer said Man City. My co-host said Man City.
Yes.
Should I be the devil's advocate? Well, not in this place. But if you had asked me this question 4 weeks ago, I would definitely say Arsenal, based on the form and the football that they were playing.
Yeah.
But I think the two draws would have taken the opportunity from them.
Yeah, 2 points. 2 points from 6 is really. In a race when it is so competitive,
in such a tight race. Yeah, that's like 14 points throughout here.
You can't afford to throw points like
that. Right. I mean, I would love a fairy tale story. But I mean, I have to go with the facts and the stats. And the facts and the stats says Man City.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think I answered this question about 3 weeks ago, and my money was on Arsenal because, like I said, the form, the football that they were playing, definitely them. But
that was before the two draws.
Before the two draw.
Yes.
Right. So I'm gonna go Man City on that one. We're gonna watch it and see how it plays out. Second question. Will Kane, that's Harry Kane, go down as the greatest striker to have never won the league?
Evidently, yes.
It's a yes. My engineer says it's a yes.
Strong.
I'm not gonna say yes, because Harry Kane is not that old.
Right.
And I think he has more to give in terms of striker. I think he's a good striker. But not only that he's a good striker, he's a good passer of the ball too.
That's
he
true.
has a lot of assists as well.
That's true.
And I'm saying if he goes into a better team, if the likes of Manchester United was calling him
called.
I believe if he goes into a team like that is more structured, and has a history of winning things.
I was about to say that,
history of winning things.
The mindset, the winning environment.
Exactly, because he's in an environment that I don't call a Audi Cup winning and everything.
No.
But if he goes into that winning environment, I believe that he's not going to leave without a Premier League title before he retires.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So my engineer says definitely yes. My co-host, gave his bid on it. I'm gonna go with the engineer on this one. You know, I don't see
evidently.
I don't see Kane winning the Premier League.
Okay.
And I'll explain why.
Yeah. If you're not seeing Kane win the Premier League, you know,
right?
Your team, Manchester United, not going to win the Premier League.
Win the league.
For a while now.
I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there.
Okay, all right.
Because the teams that he could possibly win the league with,
yes,
at this moment right now,
yes,
I don't see him going into those teams. All right, Man City is out. That's a given. Man City is out. Yeah. I mean, if he goes to Man City now, he's a backup striker.
Yeah, because he's not going to come in front of... He's not going to come in front of Mr. Ireland.
I'm not saying he can't. Maybe he's desperate enough to say, I need this league, even if I'm going to play a backup striker role.
But is Ireland going to stay at Man City? Can Man City keep him there?
Unfortunately, news saying
where is he going to go?
Unfortunately, news saying that he actually have contract to go to another league. So
Real Madrid?
Real Madrid?
I'm not sure if it's Real Madrid or Dortmund and those places, but I don't remember which one.
He's a collector cost, you know.
From Man City, you know.
He looks like a collector.
The only way from Man City up in terms, you know, that's Barca.
Yes.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And PSG. Hold on. Don't throw any stones at me when I say PSG.
Yes.
PSG in terms of cash incentives.
Yeah, man. Deep pockets.
Right.
Deep pockets.
Those are the only three ways up.
Man. Yeah, man.
There's no other up from Man City.
Yeah, man. Deep pockets. Right? Deep pockets.
Going to Man City right now.
Yes.
That's not happening. With the contract that he signed, he signed until what? 2026 or 2025?
I'm not too. I think it was 2024. I'm not sure.
No,
yeah, I don't think he,
25.
25.
Haaland value now is at 180. You know, 180 million euros. You know, you have to cover that. Agent fees, bargaining fees. You're looking at over about 220 million to get him from Man City. You know?
Oh boy, yes.
And remember, Madrid don't need him. Would they want him? Yes. But they don't need him now.
But Benzema is on his way down.
That's true. Vinicius is on his way up. Rodrigo is on his way up.
Yeah, but Benzema is on his way down. Is he gonna stay there for another how many seasons?
Well, but I think they have at least another season maybe two left in Benzema.
Okay.
Would they want Haaland? You know, sure. But do they need him enough to pay 220 million for him?
I don't think they need him.
No, I don't think that's happening.
I don't think they need
that's
him.
not happening.
Yeah.
Kane, Manchester United is another potential move for him.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But gentlemen, it's hard for me to say.
And ladies.
It is and ladies and children.
Yes.
It is hard for me to say. It's very hard. But I don't see Manchester United winning the Premier League, at least not even next year. You know, believe me, you know, this brings tears to my eye to say this. So you must know how passionate I am about this topic. But I don't see that happen, and I'll tell you why. With the level of competition that's around Manchester United and the pockets that are around Manchester United, I don't think we're competing. I don't think we've reached a level to compete with the Man City. I don't think the even Chelsea. And this is a hard thing for me to say.
Yeah.
Even Chelsea.
Yeah.
And when I say Chelsea, I mean the pockets.
Yeah.
Manchester United, you know, they're not spending. They're not spending, and the recruitment process haven't been the utmost best either.
But they're doing more maintenance than buying and selling.
I mean, it's more a business prospect than a club right now.
Yeah, but as you said before, they're not spending because you don't know what is in the horizon for them.
Well, that's true.
The deep pockets are coming in now.
The new ownership.
The new ownership is coming.
But if new ownership comes in, that changes the entire dynamics.
Yeah, man.
So that would change the entire dynamics. But as it is right now,
I think the Glazers
with the Glazers
has stepped up the thing almost $6 billion.
The bid.
The bid, yeah.
I mean,
and that is what they're doing. But I'm saying that even with that $6 billion, I'm telling you, it is still attractive to those deep pocket guys because they're seeing it as a huge investment.
They
can recoup that investment over a number of years.
Right. I mean, Abramovich paid what? Something around
4 million.
4 million.
4 million. They Todd Bowley group paid for it.
For it.
You understand?
4 billion.
4 billion.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Man, 4 billion. When Abramovich bought Chelsea, maybe about $1 billion.
Right.
At
2003.
Time. Yeah, in 2003, 4. Yeah. When he bought that, it was about $1 billion. But now, when they sold the club, they sold it for $4 billion.
And remember, the conditions under which he sold it was underpriced.
It was underpriced.
It was underpriced, so he could have made a lot more from it.
Yes.
You know, so if the new owners come into Manchester United, then that changes the entire dynamics. You know?
Great.
But as things are now, with the Glazers in, with the tight lid on the pocket, I don't. We need some big signing. We're not competing. We're not bringing in names that we can bring in. I mean, when you look on the market right now, we look in the midfield of Manchester United. You need a Bellingham in that midfield somewhere there. We're not bidding for those guys.
Yes,
we're not spending big like the Manchester. We're not bullying the market like how Manchester United used to bully the market. When you look at about 13 or 12, we Van Nistelrooy was on his way out. I would have left by that time. We needed a striker. What did we do? We bullied Arsenal into giving us the best in the league.
Yes.
We're not doing those things anymore.
Yes.
You know, we're not doing that anymore. Yes. So I don't see that happening. Maybe not, at least not next year.
Another season or two.
So even if Kane goes there, you know, I don't see that happening, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
So no, you know, I don't see Kane winning the league. But
exciting stuff.
I'll leave this one though. Not winning the league does not take from his reputation as a great Premier League player.
No, not at all. Not at all. What he has done in the league in terms of a striker is phenomenal.
Right.
And he's a good striker for England as well.
That is true.
Yeah, that is true. So he's top draw, but he needs a club with a winning mentality to move him to the next level.
Definitely.
Next question.
All right, next one.
Exciting stuff.
All right, we're going to come home on this one. We're going to come home because we're getting the wrap-up signal, you know. We're going to come home on this one, right? No, I was listening to some youngsters recently. And when I say youngsters, I mean around my age group, mid-20s to 30s thereabout.
Yes.
And I had to be on the defensive.
Yes.
Telling these guys that, listen, because their claim was that Leon Bailey is the greatest. And when I say greatest, I don't say it in a vacuum like greatest since 2003. I mean greatest
Jamaican striker,
Jamaican player to have came through the ranks. And I am saying, no, big man, even at my age.
Ludicrous.
Even at my age, I can tell you that is off. That is not accurate. None at all. Even at my age, I can tell you that.
Rubbish.
Right? Because what players... We're not even going to start listing it. If we start listing, we're going to need another 2 hours on the program.
You know, and I'm getting some signals there. But Leon Bailey, I said something to someone recently concerning Leon Bailey, and I like him as a potential. He has potential.
Right.
He's a bag of potential right now. When he was playing at Leverkusen, I saw glimpses of stuff that greatness could come from him. Right. But when he comes and he dons the national jersey, he looks a shadow of himself.
Definitely.
He looks a shadow of himself. I don't know if he's playing injured. I don't know if the system doesn't suit him. But I'm not seeing the class.
That you would have saw in Leverkusen.
No.
I'm not seeing that.
I'm seeing glimpses of it in Aston Villa, but not that dominant player that I would have seen in Bayer Leverkusen that I say that would do magic in this national squad. I'm not seeing it.
I mean,
and I'm not knocking Leon Bailey because he has
potential.
Definitely not. He's young. And he has potential, and the squad, the Jamaica squad, is improving every time. So I'm expecting to see more and more from him. But what I'm saying that in the national jersey,
I'm not seeing that hunger.
He looks pale.
I'm not seeing that hunger. I'm not seeing that fire. I am not seeing that mentality or that physical ascendancy when you see like when if we're supposed to go back a bit and you look on the likes of a Rudolph Austin, a Luton Shelton, a Bibi Gardner and so forth. Come on. Pepe Goodison. When those guys, I'm not even gonna go Blacker Earl and Walter Boyd and Tapper. I'm not even gonna go there. So
and the low and the German Hughes or whatever the thing.
I'm not even gonna go there. So when those guys put on that jersey, they're playing for their country and their bread.
And even Tapper with more. He was a fantastic player in that midfield as well.
Our leading goal scorer in the World Cup.
Exactly. But he used to do fantastic thing in the middle of the park for Jamaica. You know what I mean? And quite a few other footballers. And if you want to get into name calling in terms of great players, you know, Paul Teagat is one of the greatest that would have done the colours. Of course, Luton Shelton Jr. Would have been another one that was one fantastic as a player. Was very busy. Scored a lot of goals.
Right.
Even Fuller, even Ricardo
Fuller. Right. I didn't even remember Ricardo Fuller.
Because even when we said that he didn't produce at a high enough level. I didn't do it consistently enough.
Right.
But based on where they are in terms of if you're going to compare Bailey and Fuller,
it's a similar plateau.
Similar.
It's a similar plateau.
Very, very
but I'll say this to the listeners, because I don't want someone joining the program at this stage and say, hold on, these guys, what they doing? Am I this Bailey? No, that's not the case.
No.
You know, I said earlier when Newcastle and Villa play, I said, it was hard for me to watch a match because, we have a Villa, a love affair with Villa.
Exactly.
Because of Bailey.
Of course.
So we love Bailey as a Jamaican player. We love to see him perform and do
we want him to do well.
And we
want him to do well.
I wouldn't mind if he proves us wrong.
Exactly.
I wouldn't mind if he goes on to be the best.
Just like Rashford proving they're wrong right now.
but
just like that. Just like that.
When we look at the statistics and we look at the game that is being played, we are seeing that I'm getting a bit disappointed because I'm expecting more from him.
More.
And when I'm not seeing it come forward, I'm getting a bit frustrated within the games.
I mean, 19 games with only 3 goals from that.
No, that does not argue well to say that you're the best player. He's a bag of potential,
definitely.
But he's certainly not. He's not in the top 10.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
Well, based on stats, he's ranked to number 7.
In what?
In overall for Jamaica right now, he is ranked to number 7.
Overall, no.
Yeah, no.
Goal scoring?
Yeah, no.
But we're not just limiting it to goal scoring,
We're talking about impact on the team.
Right. Just an overall.
But of course, goal scoring is you can't even look at it in a vacuum like that.
Right.
Either, because he has not scored a whole lot of goals. I think it's about 3 goals.
3 from 19.
But the squad itself is not a lot of caps in that squad.
That's true.
Not a lot of players that are scoring a lot of goals.
The lifespan of the players are they're not as long as
nobody
they used to be.
Not playing 50 caps.
No, that's an odd thing these days.
Yes, it's 20 caps or 25
caps
and
you're out.
And then you're out.
See, the thing is that like when I actually look back on the stats and everything, when I look back and Bailey's stats, is the team where they around him at Aston Villa when he was at Laverne,
Laverne scores it, yeah.
Yeah, that team around him, made him score all those goals, and because of the body.
The quality was there.
The quality was there.
Yeah.
Coming here, is coming here now to Jamaica to play in the colours, for us, It's like we need to get
surrounded with more players.
Yeah.
I mean, I would agree with that, Daniel.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. But
know,
also we have to look on the measure of competition as well.
That is
because here in Jamaica, when you're going up against a side like El Salvador and Trinidad, or let's say what else we have? I'm not going to include Mexico and America because I believe those are top opposition.
Yes.
Right, but the lesser teams in CONCACAF, I think those match up to what you would have been facing in the Premier League or even in the Bundesliga.
Yes. Interesting. Very interesting.
It is.
The fans must get a treat out of these.
This one was theirs.
Yes, this was definitely yours. Fans, we're glad to bring those questions to you. And I said before, keep those questions coming.
Right.
Keep those questions coming. We will try our best to answer the questions that are posted on the social media pages, and of course give our own views on that. And of course the views on this program is not law. It's just how we see it.
Right.
And of course you have your own interpretation of what those answers to those questions are. And of course you might or might not agree with us, but it's all in love. We continue to do it, to continue to bring these kind of riveting questions and discussions to you on the sports roundup. And this is how we're going to close it out for this week.
Indeed.
Of course, it has been another exciting, exhilarating program. And of course, we did it all for the fans this week. Join us next week for more content. Over and out for now.